Hi students, welcome to plus 1 computer class. We are discussing about derived data type array. Okay, derived data type example is array. In the previous video we discussed about binary search. Binary search is one of the commonly used searching algorithm. Actually it is suitable for sorted array, and also if the array is very big, for larger array we are using binary search, and the algorithm and also its program we were discussed. Then to find the algorithm, you are finding the middle element first, and then the middle element is comparing with the items. Then we are finding the item. Okay, then in this video we are going to continue the topic arrays. Arrays means two-dimensional arrays. Okay, an array contains another array is known as two-dimensional. That means it consists of two subscript values, row and also columns. Then after that we will discuss 2D arrays. Two-dimensional row is also known as 2D array, and matrices are 2D arrays, and also one sample matrix program also we will discuss. Okay, so what is our topic? Two-dimensional arrays. Two-dimensional arrays or 2D arrays. Okay, two-dimensional arrays or 2D array. Actually, an array means it is a collection of similar elements under a common name. It is used to collect similar elements under a common name is known as arrays. Okay, for that purpose we are using arrays. Then, for declaring an array we are using data type, array name, size. Data type, array name, size. This is a declaration statement for an integer array. Okay, this is a declaration statement for an integer array. Then, so this is an example for single dimensional array, or array can be classified into three categories: single dimensional array, two dimensional array, and third one was multi-dimensional array. Okay, arrays can be classified into three categories: single dimensional, two dimensional, and multi-dimensional array. Single dimensional array means it only uses one subscript value or single subscript value. That's why it is known as single dimensional arrays. Second category is 2D arrays. 2D array means it uses two subscript value for representing array elements. That means row wise and column wise value. So that's why it is known as 2D arrays. Then third category belonging to multi-dimensional array. Multi-dimensional array means an array contain another array is known as multi-dimensional array. I think in the first chapter we discussed about nesting of structure, nesting of loop. A loop contain another loop is known as nesting of loop. But in array concept, an array contain another array is not belonging to nesting of array. It is belonging to multi-dimensional array. So here two-dimensional or 2D array is it is used for representing two subscript value, and suppose you want to represent numbers in row and column wise manner, then we are using 2D arrays with the two subscript value. Then first we will represent the declaration statement for 2D array. Declaration statement for 2D array. The declaration statement of 2D array means we are using the data type. Okay, that declaration syntax will be like this: data type, array name, then instead of size you want to specify two subscript value. Two subscript value means here we are specifying the number of rows and the number of columns. Okay, the number of row and also the number of columns. Example, we can write int a of 5. That means this is an array. It contains 5 row and 5 columns like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 columns and 5 rows. Okay, 5 row and 5 columns. So this is a 5, 5. Then suppose we are going to insert value into this column, then it will be treated as, you know, array index always start with 0. So how we will represent 0th row, 0th column. Okay, 0th row and 0th column, and 0th row and first column, 0 second column, 0 3, 0 4, like that. Then how we will represent this box? First row, first column, then second row, first column, then third row, first column, then this one, fourth row, first column, like that. Suppose you want to input any elements into this location, you want to specify the column name, column number and also row number. First you want to specify row and then column number. Clear? So that's why suppose we are inserting any of the element into this two-dimensional array, that means row and column wise format, you want to specify row and also column number. So we can write like this: int a of 0, if a of 2, 3. A of 2, 3. What is this? Second row, third column. It represents this memory location. Second row and third column. Okay, so when we are adding values into two-dimensional array, you want to mention row and also column number. Then next one, 5 into 5, 5 rows and 5 columns. Those the total number of elements present in this row. 5 into 5. The number of elements present in this array will be 25. Total number of columns. Row into columns. Then next one, how many bytes required for this? Okay, what will be this? Data type into row number into column number. So first you want to find out row number and column number. After that we are multiplying this with, if it is an integer array, then you want to multiply with 4, because for representing each integer we are using 4 bytes. So 4 into 25. Clear? So like this we can find out the total number of arrays, the total number of memory required for two-dimensional array. For that, first you want to multiply row number and column number, then after that multiply with the size of data type. Clear? So this is two-dimensional array. So normally we are using two-dimensional array for representing matrices. Okay, for what? For matrices. In plus 2 max we will discuss about matrices. Actually matrices is a number format or number pattern, or we are representing numbers in row and column wise format. Okay, row and column wise format. Example is 2, 4, 5, 3, 2, 6, 5, 7, 8. Actually this is a matrix. Okay, this is a matrix. It consists of 3 rows and 3 columns, and it is also known as square matrix. Square matrix means if the number of column equal to number of rows, then it is equal to square matrix, because it consists of same number of row and columns. So the matrix format will be like this. So after each number you want to include tab for leaving space. Then after the first row it will go to the next one. That means if you are printing a number in matrix format, then you want to use /t and /n. It is must, otherwise you will not get a matrix format like this. Clear? So normally two-dimensional array we are using for matrices are 2D arrays. So first we will discuss a sample matrix program for printing the number in matrix format. So here we are dealing with row and column. So definitely nesting of for loop will be there. So the first variable for row and the second variable for column. So we will write one sample matrix program, the same program that is in your textbook. The question is, create a matrix with m rows and n columns. So we don't know the size m and n. So according to the user's choice, we can give value for m and n. So I am not going to write the hash include. I am starting with the declaration statement. Int m and n. M for the number of rows, n for the number of columns. Then comma row comma column. Here row for accessing the values for row and column for accessing column value. And I require a matrix of 10 10. That means the maximum number of row is equal to 10 and maximum number of column equal to 10. Okay, only this much numbers we can include. That means 10 into 10. Then enter the order of the matrix. Cout, enter the order of matrix. Enter the order of matrix. Then next one, what is mean by order of a matrix? Normally matrix we will use the term order. For example, order means total number of row and also total number of columns. If an array contains 5 row and 5 column, then it is also known as 5 cross 5 matrix. Like this, 5 cross 5 matrix. This indicates the order of a matrix. Number of row cross number of columns. Okay, 5 cross 5. Enter the order of matrix. So what will be the number of row? M. Number of column? N. Clear? What will be the order? Now in this program we are using M cross N matrix. Okay, what is it? M cross N matrix. Then enter the elements. Okay, next I am going to enter the elements. Cout, enter the elements. Okay, I am going to input elements to the array. For inputting elements into the array, I am going to use 2 for loop. First for row. For row is equal to 0, then what will be the maximum value of row? Row less than m, row plus plus. Okay, then for column. For col equal to 0, col less than maximum value of column is equal to n, col less than n, col plus plus. Then Cin, what is our array name? MAT, matrices. For representing the column value, we are using the value for representing row and col. Okay, this is for inputting matrix. Then, so we already inserted the matrix. Next one we are going to display it. Okay, Cout, the matrix is. The matrix is. The same statement, but instead of Cin, what you want to use? Cout. Then, if we are displaying the matrix, then you want to leave space between each digit. So slash t we are using. Then after that, slash n also must. Okay, after each row, we are going to the next line. Okay, so how we will write? For row equal to 0, comma, row less than m, row plus plus. After that, I am going to open the bracket. Then, 2 options are available. Here I can use Cout slash t. Then after each row, it will go to the next step. Otherwise, in your textbook, one more statement is present, Cout end loop or ENDL. That means we are ending the loop and we are going to the next location. So that actually end loop is used for same as ENDL, end loop, and also slash t also we can write. Then next one, for column. Col is equal to 0, then call less than n, call plus plus. Call is equal to 0, call less than n, call plus plus. Then after that, we can print the value. Cout matrix of row, then call. We can print. Then along with that, you want to use /t, because immediately after all this, we are leaving space between the numbers. So that's why immediately after the number /t, automatically /t will come. Okay, so we will discuss or how it is working. So we will discuss. So let us assume m and n. Suppose I am giving value of m is equal to 3 and n is equal to 3. Then automatically the compiler will allocate memory like this. 3 row and 3 columns. Okay, then automatically it will assign space will be like this. Then after that, enter the number. So first I want to enter matrix of row and column. So what will be the first location? 0th row and 0th column. So the initial value of column, 0th row and 0th column. So the first element will be present at this. Let us assume it is 16. After that, is there any change in the row value? No, there is no change in the row value. What is changing? Column value is changing. So next element, 0th row and first column, 0th row and second column. So we can add numbers like this. So after that, column less than n. If the value of column reaches 4, that means the value insertion is over. We are going to the next row. Then again row will change to row plus plus. Then row change to 1. First row 0th column. First row, first column, first row, second column. Then second row 0th column. Second row, first column, second row, second column, like this. Okay, so the inserted value will be assigned. That's why here we are using two subscript value. First value for row and second value for column. Clear? So immediately after inserting value, we can extract value from this. For that we are using for loop. Then you want to remember one thing, for all the matrix program we are using the same for loop. There will be no change in the logic. Okay, what you want to write? For instead of row call, we can use I and j. Then next one is, if this is the matrix 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so here these elements are known as diagonal elements. Okay, 7, 5, 9. These elements are known as diagonal elements. Then what is mean by diagonal elements? Okay, these diagonal elements, then one more speciality will be there. What will be the row and column number of 1? 0th row, 0th column. Then 5. First row, first column. 9. Second row, second column. Okay, that means the row number and column number will be same. That kinds of elements are known as major diagonal elements. Okay, major diagonal elements or corner elements for a matrix. So how we will identify the major diagonal elements? To identify the major diagonal elements, the row number and column number will be same. Okay, then the same question, suppose instead of this matrix, suppose I want to print the major diagonal elements. Then how we will print the major diagonal elements? Okay, there will be no change in the Cin statement, that we can print. Then to print the diagonal elements, or Cout diagonal elements are okay, so we are extracting all the elements, but only the same number of row and columns we are printing. For this we can use the for loop. That means to find the sum of major diagonal elements of a matrix. That is our question. You want to find the sum of major diagonal elements. That means 1 plus 5 plus 9. Then you want to print the sum. Okay, so you want to access all the elements, but we are only accessing the diagonal elements. So we can write the loop like this. For I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. That means here the number of row and columns are common, so that's why n. Only one loop I am using here. Then we can write like this. C out matrix of, okay, here we are using columns and rows, so the same variable I am going to use. For row is equal to 0, row less than n, row plus plus. Then okay, here it is. Normally we can write m and also n. Okay, here I am assuming that the matrix is a square matrix. That means row is equal to column. So that's why we can use m or n because both are same. Then C out matrix of row. That means 2 row value. What will be C out row? What is the value of row? 0. Row of 0, 0. What is matrix of 0, 0? The element 1. Then S is equal to S plus matrix of row. That means we are printing the value of same row and same column. Then after getting 1, value of row will change to 1 because the initial value was 0, then it will change to 1. Then 1, 1. Which value present at first row and first column? 5. Then it will change to 2. Second column, second row, 9. So 1 plus 5 plus 9. Okay, 1 plus 5 plus 9 like that. Clear? So this is how we are extracting the diagonal elements. Okay, how we are extracting the diagonal element. So how we are extracting the diagonal element? Only one loop here we are using row, same number of row and same number of columns. Then matrix of row, that means the same number. Okay, same number, then S equal to S plus matrix of row. That means the same row number and column numbers we are adding. Clear? So these are the two commonly used programs for matrices. Commonly used program. Then in your textbook one more program is a transpose of a matrix. Transpose of a matrix means we are rearranging row into column and column into row. Okay, that's also very important. That's just we are replacing the value of row by column and column by rows. Okay, then next one, actually this is for diagonal element. Then suppose you want to add 2 matrices together. Okay, if 2 matrices we are adding, first you want to check whether they are compactable or not. How we are checking whether the matrices are compactable or not? To check the matrices are compactable or not, first you want to check whether the order of these 2 matrices are equal. That means both are having same number of columns and rows. If they are having the same number of columns and rows, then first input these 2 matrices and declare one more matrix to store the resultant. The same program is already present in your textbook. Actually, the logic behind the matrix program is very simple. First you want to read 2 matrices, then after that we are adding the 2 matrices and store it into another matrix. But you want to check whether both are both are compactable or not. Compactable means that order of the 2 matrices should be same. Okay, so these are the matrix programs. So the basic matrix program that you want to study, then please refer your textbook. That means some common programs also present. The basic 2 programs I already explained in this video itself, how we are reading and displaying a matrix using 2-dimensional array and how we are finding the sum of diagonal elements of a matrix. Okay, then suppose you want to read and display a matrix, There will be no change in the for loop. So from this question, from this chapter, we can expect declaration of 2D array statement and the total memory allocated for a two-dimensional array like that. Okay, then the textbook backside questions, some of the questions, all the questions are direct. I think majority of all the questions I included in the video itself. Then some of the long questions also present. Long questions mean illustration of bubble sort, selection sort, linear search and binary search were present. Okay, how we are executing this, but the algorithms are very important algorithms you want to study. Bubble sort, selection sort, linear search and binary search. These are the 4 important questions from this chapter. Very important chapter. You want to study this chapter because algorithms, programs will be there. So please write and study the algorithm. Then you don't want to by heart the algorithms. Okay, especially algorithm or program you want to write and study. Clear? So these are the important topics from this chapter. Okay, what was our chapter name? Array. So again we will revise the topics that we studied. So we started with two-dimensional array. What is meant by 2D array? How we are declaring two-dimensional array? Then how we can represent matrices using 2D array and also sample matrix program. So the sample matrix program, the first program was how we are reading a matrix and how we are displaying a matrix. Then after that we discussed about multi-dimensional. Multi-dimensional array I already mentioned. An array contain another array is known as multi-dimensional array. Each element of a 2D array may be another array. Such array is known as multi-dimensional array. In your textbook, multi-dimensional array program is not present. It is very complex. So in higher classes you can find out this multi-dimensional array questions. Then all the text back question is relating to application level. Illustrate the working of array. So please try to solve all the questions from your text back, especially the illustration working. Then the other thing we will discuss in through your Google Meet. So the important 2 matrices program was this one. Addition of a matrix is a big program, but you want to identify the concept of addition. That is enough. You don't want to by heart the addition program, but the concept you want to learn what is happening in matrix addition. First we are reading 2 matrices. After that we are checking whether it is compactable or not. Compactable means we are checking the order of the matrices. If 2 matrices are in same order, then we can perform matrix addition. Okay, then diagonal elements means row number and column number will be same. That kinds of elements are known as diagonal elements. Okay, then you want to write 2 questions in your notebook as a homework. Define a 2D array. Then memory, how memory is allocated for 2D array. Okay, for allocating memory you want to execute one equation, row number into column number. First you want to multiply row number into column number. After that into the number size of the data. Okay, if it is integer array then we are multiplying with 4. If it is double array then we are multiplying with 8. Okay, so hope you understood the chapter arrays. Actually it is an important chapter. Algorithms and programs also important, especially sorting algorithms and also searching. Okay, then the remaining section we are discussing about C++ programming along with arrays. So integer array we already completed. Remaining section was string and also its arrays. That we will discuss in the next video. Okay then, thank you.